Already. So in this lecture, we're going to be going over how to scale with prop firms and how to efficiently get to a high amount of dollar amount income, specifically every single month with prop firms, right? So I'm going to give you guys a complete breakdown on trading strategy, or not strategy, but trading risk parameters, risk management, all those important things, right? Because it's all really important to have, specifically if you're trying to achieve 20, 30, 40, $50,000 months, specifically rinsing props, right? This is all applicable when you have a good strategy. So if you don't have a good strategy, you need to focus on what? Your strategy, right? Because that's the most important part. If you guys don't have a defined strategy, why are you focusing on scaling with prop firms if you don't and can't trade in the first place, right? Doesn't make sense. 0 plus 0 is going to equal 0. 1 plus 1 equals 2. If you have a strategy and then you watch this video, you can get a higher number. But if you can't trade, why are you watching this video? I love you guys. I'm only saying this to help you. All right, anyways, I'm kind of yapping there. But first and foremost, what I wanted to explain specifically with props, you can't be a bitch, right? Prop firms kind of take balls to some extent on how much you risk, right? Because on a 50K account, for example, you only have $3,000 until the account is blown, right? So that being the case, like to make a real amount of money on props, specifically with let's say a 50K, you need to be risking a lot, right? But the problem is you guys don't have a good strategy, so it's hard to risk a lot if you don't know how to trade and you don't have a strategy, right? So I would say get a mentor, specifically if you're struggling on trading, whether that be me, whether that be anyone else that you guys like or you guys fuck with, you guys know that they can trade, they show you this shit live, I show you this shit. I show you guys withdrawals. I show you guys balances. I show you guys everything. I show you guys live daily trading. I show you guys all that. Anyways, whether you pick me, whether you pick someone else, doesn't really matter, right? The biggest thing, though, is once you have a mentor, learn their strategy, and then from there, implement this specific strategy, right? So the first and foremost thing, and this is all dependent on how much money you have to your name, right? I'm going to give two scenarios for the two and only two ways that you can really be. The first scenario is going to be, let's say you have less than $1,000, $2,000 to your name, and you're looking to just get a nice big payout of let's say like 2, 4, 6K. And specifically, what should your risk parameter be? And then what should you do after you get that payout, right? And that's probably what majority of you guys are facing right now. And you guys are probably sitting there like, okay, well, once I get my first payout, then what the fuck do I do, right? So I'm going to completely break that down now. And specifically risk-wise, and this is how I tell my members to risk, is a flat dollar amount and not a percentage basis. I think percentages are stupid because as you make less or more, your percentages should change based off that. Instead of having it off a percentage basis, what I like doing for me personally, and then what I like my members to do, is do a flat amount, flat dollar amount. Now, what I risk on props when I trade is much larger than what you guys should be doing because I have a much higher win rate than you, right? But for you guys specifically that have, let's say like low win rate, let's say like 40, 50%, you don't have a good strategy, you don't have a good model, how should you be risking? And then what should you do after you get those payouts? Risk-wise, I would say dollar amount on a 50K, you should be risking no more than $300 to $500 a trade in terms of your stop loss, right? So your stop loss should be no greater than $300 to $500. Contract sizing-wise on NASDAQ specifically, what I would recommend on a 50K would be anywhere from 5 to 7 micro contracts. So MNQ contracts, 5 to 7. That's typically the number where you can get away with not risking a crazy amount and still have a longevity on that account specifically. Anything above there, like once my members are a little settled in and they kind of know my model, what I would recommend them doing is one mini contract and trading one mini contract, right? And you can do that, and it's very permissible to do that once you have a good defined edge and you have a high win rate, right? But you guys obviously can't risk that way if you guys don't have a model that actually works in play, right? So that's the most important thing. So for you guys, let's say you guys don't want to join a mentorship or you guys can't afford a mentorship and you can only afford, let's say, one funded account. First off, you shouldn't even be trading if you can only afford one funded account because of the fact your emotions are extremely heightened while you guys are trading. Trading, when you're trading with your net worth with one account, is probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen people do. Like, if you can't afford a 50K funded, like 5 to 10 times, and you're trying to trade and get one payout on one, you are very stupid. You need to go get a job ASAP, right? I'm not talking about liquid cash. I'm talking about income. Like, if you are making less than like $1,000 a month, even though, let's say you're making less than $500 a month, and you're trying to make it big on one funded account, you are very stupid. And I'm telling you that now. Do not trade. Do not try to trade, because you're going to eat shit for so long until you get a job. Because once you have a job, you're 10 times more mentally stable, right? So when you are mentally stable, your psychology is better. The way that you look at the market is better. The way that you perceive the market is better, because you're not so emotionally attached to that one funded account. The problem I see majority of people do is they're so heavily emotionally attached to one funded account where either they end up blowing it, going tilt, or they lose and they blow the account, and then they're out of luck for like 3 months because they're just waiting for their birthday to come up or a holiday to come up where their parents will give them $100, $200, and then they can go buy another funded account. If that is your situation right now, my friend, you are 10 times better off just paper trading and saving every single dollar you have, and also actively looking to get a job, right? If you do not have income, don't think trading is going to come fast. It'll probably take the longest. And your journey specifically, if you have no income, will probably take 10 times longer than the person with the job. Because the person with the job is not reliable to pay the bills off of a funded account. That's the dumbest thing ever, guys. Dumbest, stupidest thing ever. If you don't have a job right now and you're trying to make it in trading, paper trade until you have a job or until you have a source of income. And as well as join a mentorship, whether that be mine, whether that be someone else's. I don't care, guys. I don't care who you end up joining. Anyway, I don't care, right? I care specifically about the psychology aspect of what you guys are facing. And I'm telling you here right now, join a mentorship so you can get information off someone's model and learn their model, either me, either any other person you can think of. And then from there, go find a job, stack up as much dollars as you have or as you can. And then from there, now start buying funded accounts once you have experience with paper trading. If you try to get rich and you try to make trading a get rich quick scheme, my friend, it's going to take you so long to get good at this. And that's essentially how I looked at it as an early stage. I was trying to flip $100, $200 in an options account before fundeds even existed. And I continuously blew up my account because I was so emotionally attached to that money. I'm telling you guys right now, you guys want to fast track success? Do not try to network drop on a funded account. Dumbest thing ever. So that's established the first and foremost. Now, what do you do? Let's say you've completed all those things. You get your first payout, right? You get your first payout on a funded account. What's the next step? What do you do from here? What you do from here is you stack every single dollar. Still, you haven't made it when you got a $2,000, $4,000 payout. You have not made it after getting a $4,000 payout. That doesn't mean anything. I got $4,000 in payouts before blowing the largest account of my life. Right? This was a couple years back on Apex. I've told the story multiple times. I ran up $27,000 on an Apex account that I've shown proof of. One of my videos, I don't remember what video it is, but I showed proof completely on running up that bag and running up that account to $27,000 in profit. I was able to request on Apex $2,000 the first 2 weeks, and then the second 2 weeks I did the same. The balance now is at $23,000, and I blew the account. So just because you got your first payout does not mean you made it and this shit's just gonna come easy now. Right? You still got fucking work to do. Where you can feel some sense of extreme accomplishment and you can feel some sense of like, damn, I kind of made it, is when you copy trade a bunch of accounts and you start getting a bunch of payouts. So my protocol specifically for you guys scaling, right, would be, right, you get your first payout on a 50K, let's say. Let's say that's $2,000. That $2,000, at least half of it should go back into evaluations, right? Whether that be you trade 550K accounts, whether that be you trade 300K accounts, doesn't matter. But all that, or half of that money at least, should go back into evaluation so that way you can scale, right? Because one payout of $2,000, right, is $2,000 on one account, but one payout of $2,000 on 5 accounts is $10,000. Now you do that and you get, let's say, just simple 2 payouts a month. You're making $20,000 a month, and that is very realistic to achieve in the span of 6 to 12 months if you have someone that is properly teaching you how to do this, right? So you get the payout, $2,000, let's say. Half of that goes into your savings account. You don't touch. That simply just goes savings. Make sure not to spend any money. Don't think you're up. Don't spend any money. I'm telling you, that was the biggest mistake I made in the early stages of my trading journey. Pocket that $1,000, put it in a savings account. The other $1,000 spent on evaluations. Try to pass them. Try to go for one payout. Boom. Now you have, let's say you got a payout on 5 accounts for $10,000. Now you have $10,000. Now you have a real amount of money, right? Now that you have $10,000, now everything changes, right? Now from there, you're just buying multiple accounts simultaneously and trying to just speed run, right? A payout here, a payout there, a payout there. I see a lot of people try to build extreme longevity on one funded account, And look, I understand it because that's what I tried doing and it actually worked. But it's 10 times easier and less stressful to copy trade accounts, right? Because you can make 10 grand off of one trade, literally off of one trade, right? Let's say you're copy trading 150K accounts and you're copy trading 5 of them, right? You can easily make 2 grand off of one trade. That's light. Let's say you trade 2 micros even, that's 50 points, 2 grand, that's 10 grand on 5 accounts, right? So copy trading is literally the key to success. Literally the key to success. And you guys can scale so fucking fast, right? Start off with one account, right? You got a job, you got a source of income, so you're chilling now. Then from there you get a $2,000 withdraw. Boom, 1,000 into your savings, 1,000 to more evals. Boom, now you have 5 evals. You pass those evals, you pay the activation fee. Cool. Now you just go for one payout. Boom, now you have 10 grand. It doesn't matter if you want to continue trading those accounts, continue trading them. If you blow them, it's not that serious because you can do the same thing over again and you have a basically 10x return, right? Because if let's say you spend $1,000 on evals and then you get a $10,000 withdrawal, that's a 10 times return on your money, right? Who in their right mind would say no to a 10x return on their money, right? So now that you have $10,000 in payouts, right? What is my next step? My next step for you guys would be just continue trying to do that until you get to a point of $50,000 to $100,000 liquid cash. Once you are at a point of $50,000 to $100,000 in liquid cash, then from there, I would suggest you guys opening up a live account. Because with a live account, right, it's much easier. There's no rules. You can withdraw anytime you want, right? Let's say I make 5 grand. Like today I made 5 grand. I already submitted a withdrawal with TradeAvate, right? So it's like, that's the simplicity aspect and the nice aspect of trading on a live account. I don't have to worry about minimum trading days. I don't have to worry about this or that. I go to TradeAvate, click a couple of buttons, and 5 grand appears in my bank account, right? It's not I gotta wait for this, or I didn't meet this rule or that rule. I don't think prop firms are gonna be around for a really long time, guys. Like, you need to utilize them now and be able to get a good amount of liquid cash off of them, and then from there transition to a live account, right? So you have really 2 steps at that point. It's either switch to a live account or just continue trying to rinse, right? There's some people in the space who try to go for a stupid amount of payouts, like a copy traded on 20, 30, 40 accounts, not K, but 20, 30, 40 accounts at a time simultaneously. Let's say trading one mini. One mini on 30 accounts is 30 minis. So you can make a dangerous amount of money in one day doing that, right? So the choice is really yours up from there. And you should have enough knowledge and experience once you get to that point to see what is the best move on the chessboard specifically for you, right? But the biggest thing I want to make sure that you guys understand is do not think that you are up. Do not think you are rich. Do not think you are any type of thing once you get your first payout. Be accomplished that you are finally making progression, right? Be accomplished. Have a sense of accomplishment, okay? I'm finally starting to see results. The results are speaking. That does not mean that you are just good for life, though. And I don't want any of you guys to think that, right? You make 4 grand. That's the same amount that you would make at a minimum wage part-time job, right? That does not mean by any case scenario you should go take a Dubai trip or you should go buy Louis Vuitton. Like, come on, what are you doing, right? And that was my problem. I literally spent all my payouts that one time that I ran the Apex account up to $27,000 in profit and then blew it. And once I spent all the money and all the payouts, I didn't have any savings. What ended up happening? I had to go back and figure out a way to make money, right? Which I ended up doing, right? So that's my word of advice to you guys specifically on that. And that's the fastest way to do it, right? Now, the second example of people, right, and will be a different example, and this is still a good amount of you. Let's say you made money off crypto. Let's say you made money off of anything. Amazon FBA. Let's say you have savings. Let's say you have above 15 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand. The structure in which I want you to do is relatively the same. And it depends on how long you've been trading for. If you are a beginner, follow the first person stereotype of what I recommend. But if you have a little bit of knowledge coming into trading and you kind of know what you're doing navigating around the marketplace, what I would recommend you doing, and this is only if you have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in savings, is immediately start copy trading. And the reason why you immediately start copy trading is because of the fact that you have enough savings where if you blow those accounts, you can easily just get back and get another 5 accounts, right? It's not going to hurt the bank. Let's say you have 20 grand, $1,000 out of 20 grand is not going to hurt you at all. Your life's not going to change, right? So that's what I would suggest for those type of people. And that is primarily based off of people that already have core idea of how the marketplace runs and what to do, and they have a defined strategy. If you don't and you still have that savings, I still recommend you just trading one account, right? Because off of one account, the easiest way to identify if you're actually good or not is by submitting a payout request, right? If you can get a payout request on one account, that means you can do this exact same thing on 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 or 100. It doesn't matter, right? The same thing, and this is why trading is so nice, is because it's indefinitely scalable, right? It's infinitely scalable. There's no cap to this, right? So the nice part is like, okay, I get one payout, boom, I go to 5 accounts, get a payout on each of those 5 accounts, boom, now I get 10 accounts, I keep doubling up, and I keep getting a crazy amount of withdrawals. And the nice part is the more accounts you have, the less money you can risk and the more money you can make, right? So specifically what I mean by that is, let's say you have 20 accounts and you're trading 5 micros, right? Let's say your stop loss is like 100, 200 bucks, right? Copy traded on 30 or 20 accounts, let's say, that would still, that $200 would be $4,000, your total loss would be, but you have so much more longevity on the accounts, right? So like you guys can aim for like really, really low R, like you can go for like 1 to 2, and off of 1 to 2, right, traded on 20 accounts, let's say with 5 micros, you can make a lot of money very, very fast. And the whole key to this is, guys, you do not want to spend your money until you have a good amount of liquid cash. Now, how much is a lot of liquid cash? Anything above $50,000, then from there you can start buying the cool things that you want. Like if you want to go take your parents out to dinners and stuff, if you want to go get a car, right? Go finance a car. If you want to do all those things, that comes after 1, having income, 2, having savings, right? So what I mean by income, if you can prove yourself $10,000 to $30,000 a month in income based off prop firms, and on top of that have, let's say, $50,000 to $100,000 of liquid cash, that's when life starts becoming fun. That's when life is like, okay, I can buy this and that. I can go on that trip. It's not going to affect my life, right? It's literally, it's going to be $1,000. That's easy. I make that every day in the market. Like that's easy, right? But until then, I don't want to see any of you guys trying to buy Louis Vuitton after getting your first $2,000 payout. That is genuinely and utterly probably the most stupid shit that I've ever seen people do. Why in God's green earth would you be trying to net drop when you get your first payout? That does not mean you've made it, right? $2,000 is so inconsequential. Guys, think about how little $2,000 is. You might think right now, because of the fact that the current state that you're in, that $2,000 would change your life. $2,000 means nothing. People that make $2,000 work at minimum wage part-time jobs, right? You can literally go get a job at McDonald's right now and make $2,000 in 30 days, right? So that being the case, I only say that to protect you guys. I'm not saying it out of the ego aspect. I'm saying it specifically so you guys make sure I'm not going to be a jackass when I get my first payout, because I want to scale, right? And the way and the reason why I see so many people fail with props is because they're scared to spend money on evaluations, right? How do you expect to scale to 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 months with props if you're not willing to buy evaluations, right? People are trying to build longevity off one account, and I think that's stupid. I think the whole reason of props is to leverage, right? So the way that you do that, right, start off with 1, you get a payout, boom, you still have that account, you go buy 4 more accounts, you copy trade them together with one of these trade copying softwares, boom, now you get to submit a withdrawal for all 5, that's now $2,000 times 5 accounts is $10,000, boom, now you have $10,000, you go buy another 10 evals, you pass those, boom, another payout, now you have 20 to 40 grand, and it just constantly ends up scaling, right? That's how, and that's the most realistic way to get to a crazy amount with props specifically. I'm kind of over props now. I just hate the rules and everything. I like trading my Tradevate account, my live Tradevate account, and it's just so much nicer. I won't lie. Like when I switch to a live account, it's so much nicer, right? And the reason why that is just because I don't have to follow any rules or restrictions or anything like that. When I want to take a trade, I can take a trade. When I don't want to take a trade, I don't have to take a trade. There's no minimum days, none of that bullshit, right? Easy, fast, and efficient. So once you get like 50 to 100,000 liquid, then from there it's your choice on switching over to a live account and funding it yourself. Let's say like 20 to 50 grand, or staying on a prop firm and staying on props, right? I'm not saying one is right, one is wrong. And this is the thing, everyone tries to give advice on this app specifically for trading, but they all think there's one right solution. When in reality, there's so many different right solutions in trading. The way that you trade, the actual trading model that you trade, the way that you risk, right? There's people that are profitable with a negative risk to reward ratio, but they have an extremely high win rate, right? So there's no one right solution, right? It's whatever you guys like and whatever your preference is based off your personality traits, right? So I'm now at a point in trading where I know it's literally impossible for me to go on tilt or over leverage. So I'm comfortable with trading on a live account because I know it's physically impossible for me to go on over leverage or over tilt, right? Going on over trading or over leveraging, right? It's impossible for me to do that. So I don't really want to trade props anymore, and I'm able to make a good amount of money on my live account. So why not just trade on my live, right? Now I bought a funded on Friday. I passed it on Sunday night, trading Asia, and I get the account live on Friday. So I'm gonna just trade that account and probably do anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 in withdrawals in the span of 2 weeks, 2 trading weeks, just to show you guys, like, there's nothing fake about me. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing it. I know why price runs specifically in specific times of the day and specific locations, all of that good stuff, right? And the only way I can really showcase that with full transparency is with the funded account, right? Showing you guys the live executions, showing you guys the live trades, showing you guys the live withdrawals, everything live, right? I can show you guys, right? Because you can fake broker statements, you can fake all that, but the one thing that you guys can't deny is getting withdrawals off a funded account. So I'm just doing that for the content purposes. I don't really like trading fundeds, and after this, it'll probably be my last time ever trading fundeds. I'm kind of just sick and tired of the fundeds. The only time I'll come back for a funded is if I buy like 20 accounts and just try to get like 140K to 100K payout off of it. Which, like, that would be cool content for you guys to watch for motivational purposes. So that's essentially how to trade props and how to scale with props. Just with all of this in mind, keep into account, don't be an idiot with your first payouts, guys. I see so many people fuck up, and they were so close to scaling because of how good they were at trading, but instead of scaling and focusing on scaling, they end up blowing their account because of the fact that they spent all their money, right? And the biggest thing is, no matter what your financial position is right now, identify, okay, do I know what I'm doing? If I don't know what I'm doing, I need to learn from other people. Let me go learn from other people. Once I've learned from other people, then from there, I'll scale the trading. That's literally it, guys. You guys make trading so much more complex than it is, and that's why you are failing right now. You literally are actively making trading 10 times more complex than it truly is. Trading is literally the most simple thing once you have an understanding on what price is doing and you have a strategy that allows you to win more times than lose. It's literally just a systematic thing that you repeat every single day, no matter what you feel or how you feel it, right? Like, dude, it's so funny to me, guys. Like, when I was broke, I would think like, oh my God, like that feeling of just making money is like so awesome. And like, like I'm definitely missing something in trading. There's something I'm missing. What am I missing? And I didn't realize that it was just a simplicity aspect. I try to overcomplicate it instead of undercomplicating it. And that's why it took me so long to do this shit. You guys literally just need to simplify this shit. You know your system, you act on your system, and you get paid for your system. And like now it's literally at a point where I'm literally just printing money out of my ass, bro. And like this is why I'm saying, like, don't give up on this shit. Because this shit is actually real. You can actually make life-changing money with this stuff. It's not sports betting, it's not blackjack, it's not any of that other shit. This you can have a very competitive edge over, but it depends on your knowledge. How much knowledge do you have over the marketplace, right? And does your model have a high win percentage? If the answer to those two are yes, you literally just focus on the simplicity aspect. It's literally a joke, guys. Like, I'll literally make like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 out of nowhere. Not even trading related. And this is another thing. Once you guys start getting more money, let's say you start rinsing props, you see opportunities arise, you see money appearing out of nowhere. Like, I just took a leverage trade as a joke with $100 and I turned it into $600. And it's like, cool. I just made an extra $600 today. I made $5,000 earlier trading NQ. Like, this shit's like, it's just money flying everywhere, you know? And that's the nice part about this industry is because you're involved with finance, and finance models specifically are typically applicable to other asset classes. So the same thing you're learning, and I've had a lot of questions about you guys asking me this, the same thing that I teach on NASDAQ is the exact same thing, and is it applicable to crypto? It's applicable to Forex. It's applicable to any other asset class, right? It's because most of the markets, the core fundamental basics around the marketplace is applicable to all asset classes. But anyways, if you guys made it to the end of this video, comment 2025 is mine. Comment 2025 is mine, right? Anyways, boys, I love y'all. That was essentially how to scale with prop firms. If you guys need anything from me, you know where to find me. I'll leave the Discord in the link in the bio. If you guys are trying to learn and try to adopt a profitable strategy, I love y'all. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great night.